Hi, I'm Lloyd,
And I'm Jeremy.
and you're watching Broadsheet, the business of news.
Last time on Broadsheet, we talked about how an integrated sales force can go to market. So what that means is a sales force that's selling both digital and print products, and all through the same person. This time we're going to talk about how newspapers have created digital sales force, sometimes called digital champions or digital consultants, that go to market with a print sales force and help them sell those digital products that might be a little bit more tricky for them. So we're going to hear from groups like the Dallas Morning News, AdTaxi, UT San Diego, and more about how they've gone to market with this particular strategy.
My name is Lindsay Jackaman. I actually wear two hats. I am General Manager of Digital Marketing Services at DMN Media, which is owned by the Dallas Morning News, and also Chief Revenue Officer of Speakeasy, a content marketing and social media agency, which is a joint venture between the Dallas Morning News and Slingshot Advertising. The challenges around how to structure the sales team are not unique to the Dallas Morning News as we go to market with different digital properties in our portfolios. With regard to social media, it was a matter of figuring out a way to leverage the 5,000 local relationships the Dallas Morning News have with those clients, and making those reps feel very comfortable in talking about social media and content marketing solutions and how those solutions can really help drive businesses forward and help basically boost their bottom line.
Hi, my name is Greg Messenger. I'm the Senior Vice President of Sales at AdTaxi. I live in Denver, Colorado. When we think about AdTaxi, we frame it up as a sales enablement company. And when we think about that, we mean that on the macro side of the equation, the local regional ad spending is moving to programmatic media across mobile video and display, email, search, content marketing. We think that market's going to grow from about $45 billion today in the US to about $75 billion by 2017. So that's by far the fastest growth trend in digital advertising. On the more micro side of the equation, we have a lot of trust between our local media brands and local audiences, like the Denver Post and the Denver Audience, for instance. Conversely, we also have a lot of trust with our local sales forces and the businesses that they represent. In between that micro and macro opportunity, there's a big execution gap. So what AdTaxi as a business tries to do is help partners, whether they be publishing, broadcast companies, or clients direct, close that gap as fast as humanly possible. So AdTaxi does carry its own sales force, but our mission is to enable the local sellers to be able to operate on their own independently and drive this kind of revenue growth and solution for their client without us. So what we do is essentially go in, train them up, get them moving, go on the first round of sales calls, help them through the relationship, and then basically throw them in the pool and force them to teach themselves to fish. So we do have continued sales pressure in each of these markets, but typically we have an AdTaxi leader on the floor who kind of owns the revenue growth for that sales floor and is dedicated to helping that sales force increase their digital acumen. So they're there as a resource. They're not there as a digital secretary, so to speak, to do the digital work. That typically can't happen. They're there to be the kind of the evangelist, for lack of a better word, around this audience model.
So we have traditional legacy newspaper reps. We call those our SMCs, so sales and marketing consultants. And they are 60 people strong. And then we have a small army of digital hunters, as we call them, and those are our DSMCs. And they're about a group of 10, and they work alongside those core SMCs to go out and make four-legged sales calls. Then you sprinkle in a couple catalysts, and those are people that specialize in different product offerings, such as Speakeasy. There are Speakeasy catalysts, so it's core reps, digital reps, and then two different sets of catalysts. So on any given call, just from a rep perspective, you could have 3 to 4 reps outside of managers and GMs. So it's quite a layered structure at this point.
My name is Mike Hodges. I'm the president and COO for UT San Diego. Yeah, our sales structure is really focused on having our core reps be multimedia reps. The ability for them to sit down with an advertiser and present, a all-encompassing media package. Now, certainly where we have an advertiser that might have more of an interest in digital, we'll bring in a digital specialist. Or someone that has a particular interest in video, we'll bring in a video specialist. But at the end of the day, we're requiring our multimedia reps to go and sell the whole package.
As you probably know, the fastest way to to grow revenue is to upsell an existing client. A lot of those relationships are held with the local newspaper sales staff and that business. Most of the time, that traditional newspaper sales staff or broadcast sales staff doesn't have the digital acumen to provide these kinds of solutions. So what ends up happening is we add another trusted guide, as we call them, to that relationship, which is a savvy digital person to go on a four-legged sales call and kind of craft that media mix. Once the client has that solution, those two work on it together. And as the traditional rep sees this happen a few times, they slowly begin to learn to fish, so to speak, and operate on their own. That's how the business scales. So we're transforming that past relationship around buying a TV spot or buying a newspaper ad to buying a cohesive marketing solution that's driven via that digital acumen to push that legacy rep in the right direction.
My name is Kelly Homewood. I am the Director of Digital Marketing Products at Fusion Farm in Cedar Rapids, Iowa. What we've decided to do is look at, we really need to have some digital marketing experts on staff. So we have Fusion Farm agency reps right now that focus on just going out and selling non-legacy customers. So if they're already working with our legacy reps, then they don't work with them. But what they do is go out and look for new business that we're not currently working with as a company.
What we think we've kind of found out the right thing to do now is to take really good sellers that understand what's going on, but then support them with people who have that deep digital knowledge, and not necessarily always being four-legged calls and having a digital rep go along with them to basically go in and try to close a sale on digital. But to have those folks go along and be a trainer in the field and help them understand the value of those products and make sure that we aren't missing any opportunities. So it's an extra set of eyeballs. And so we have our sales managers are up to speed on that, but we've also incorporated digital reps to go along and dedicated specifically to the ad teams.
The fact that you don't have to be the expert on all services, that you can bring someone in to be that expert and still not lose credibility. That's probably been our biggest challenge, because we can develop all the services and products that we want, but if they're not getting taken to market by the sales reps, then it's not going to work. Well, they're very afraid of losing credibility. I mean, and that's the bottom line. So the reps have built these relationships with these clients, and they feel that they're experts in what they've been selling them, and so there's a real fear that they're going to be asked a question that they can't answer. And when they can't answer the question, they feel like they're losing credibility, rather than say, you know what, I'm not the expert on this piece of it, but I have someone back at the office that is. Let me bring those folks out, or let me connect you, let me get those answers for you. And that's really what we're working with the reps on, is to say, you don't have to be the expert on everything, you know, and you're not going to lose credibility if you have someone on your team that can be that expert.
We also know that there are a significant number of customers out there who have not a lot of interest in legacy products, that they don't care about or want to be in the paper. They don't watch the 6 o'clock news. So those people are, however, interested in social. They really want a robust website. We actually have a team of people specifically tasked with going out and finding new customers that work alongside the ad reps that are branded Fusion Farm, to be able to go out and talk directly to those people that's all they really care about. And we're starting to make some really good traction with those folks, as well as having our existing advertisers come along with the ride.
The fear is always that they're going to switch revenue. So we're going to lose print revenue, or we're going to lose broadcast revenue if we sell digital. And to a certain degree that happens because they kind of see that rep that comes in, that's my Gazette rep, or that's my KCRG rep. And so they're looking at their budget as, this is my Gazette budget or my KCRG budget. And so I'm going to take a little out of this to fund this new thing you want me to try, and we'll see, and it's all coming out of the same budget. But what we're trying to work with the reps on is we know, we actually subscribe to the Burrell data, and we know in market what's being spent and what's being spent in our market, both with other companies within our market and then also outside of our market, the dollars by category that are being spent. So we know we're not capturing all of those dollars. There's money to be had in digital marketing that they're not spending with us. So we really want the reps to focus on not just going in and talking about, here's what we think you need to do, but also talking about what is your marketing budget overall, and really trying to expand their thinking into, I'm not asking you to take money from your print or your broadcast. What I'm asking you to do is think about how you currently market online. What are you currently doing for directory updates and for social media marketing that's thinking outside of the box of just working with my rep for print or digital. what we found really beneficial with that is having some separate reps, so Fusion Farm reps that actually go out and can begin with a different language. So we're not beginning with just what we've worked with before on print or what we've worked with before on broadcast.
So this actually turns out to be a really good way to end this. As it turns out, print and digital don't necessarily need to be in competition with each other. In fact, print and digital probably should be supporting each other in an overall marketing budget for a customer.
Yeah, I mean, the important thing to note here is that there's a lot of ways to do this, right? One of my favorite sayings from Ben Horowitz is, there's no silver bullet, there's just lead bullets. And that's what this is. You got to try different ways to see how it works out. And let's see, look, what have we looked at? We've looked at, we started out with print and digital completely separated, right? Which works for some people if you have the budget and you can make it work. We have integrated sales teams that just sell absolutely everything across the board. And then you have this digital champion piece where you kind of have the best of both worlds, where you have the, your traditional reps who have all the relationships and all of that, but then also you have these digital champions that can come in and kind of explain everything. And I think you just need to try and figure out what works best for your organization. And obviously, like, one of my favorite things to do is to do kind of what we're doing here, which is talk to other folks who are about your size, who have had success. And newspapers are very good about sharing their successes and failures, and I think that's what we need to do here.
I agree. So next time on Broadsheet, we're going to be talking about educating your clients, not just your salespeople, about which products they should be buying. Make sure you go to broadsheet.org and sign up to receive our emails. That's how you'll know the next episode's coming up. Thank you so much.
Thanks for watching.